I want to talk about the rise from, okay, now we have a product. I'm doing this midday squares thing. When did you stop doing the balloons per thing?
Well, we used to do balloons.
Yeah,
You're talking about the physical balloons?
Yeah, like those like photo shoots that you did
they
with
were
the
epic.
balloons.
Those were, yo, dude, that was wild.
When did you stop those, or when was the idea, and then when you stopped those?
I think after a year and a bit. But like I think like here's what happened. Like
10,000, 100,000,
250,
750.
like, I remember. I think I always tell people we used to do photo shoots. In the first like 2 months, we'd hire a professional photographer. Yeah. We'd get a studio. We'd take shoots that were like as if like we were a boy or girl band, and like people would be like, "What the fuck is this company? Like, why are they doing photo shoots?" So it made people like, "Who are they? What's with them?" And it created an energy. Yeah. It created hype, momentum, excitement, curiosity. So I remember one of the big things was celebrate the momentum that's happening. So big balloons was like a way people party. They like that. So we started taking these big balloon pictures, and then eventually like it became like we did. Like, it was too like we needed more originality at that point. Like we needed something new, and then we did a birthday cake, and it was like fire, and our team was dancing and throwing cake at each other. And then we did a wrestling match after like surviving after 5 years. I think our 5th birthday, we did like we actually did a skit of like WWE, and we hired wrestlers to like say that like to try to beat us up. Yeah. Like my partners and I, and like we got dressed up in character. Like they were being thrown, cake was being thrown at us. Everything was happening, but we ended up beating them. And the whole idea was that no matter how much shit we take, we still standing. And like we kept doing those, and we haven't done one in a while. But I think in January, because with our new innovation, it's a whole new rebrand of the organization as well. You're going to see major content come out. Yeah. And I realized that people love seeing it and being part of it. They're curious. So like as a business, you have a unique opportunity to do that. Whether it's balloons, whether it's cakes being thrown at each other, whether it's wrestling matches. You need to make people care and make them pay attention. If you don't have attention in today's world, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. You can't, doesn't matter how good your product or how good your service is, if you can't get people's attention, you're screwed. Early on, the balloons were able to get people's attention. Then it became wrestling, and now it's become something, we need to figure out today. We don't know what it is, but again, storytelling is the true forefront, but we still do those professional shoots. It's just now that's for like e-com photos or magazine photos that were in our newspapers that want that photos. But again, at the beginning, everyone's like, why? Yeah. Why? But again, that why got us in conversation. Midday Squares was in a conversation, whether it was good or bad. Yeah. They were talking about our brand, which keeps people on top of mind. When you're a snack, you want people top of mind all the time.
Mm-hmm. How much did they mean to you personally?
Oh, me a lot. Probably the most to me, because again, this was my first business that was really taking off like significantly in terms of like just like we were selling, and there was structure, and there was actual process, and like this was real. This wasn't like a little mom and pop business anymore. This was like, we have 60 people with us now. Like we sell in 2 countries. Like, so like all these milestones was to me so important, because it was like, wow, we climbed another mountain. Now we're going back down. We got to climb another one. But it just kept being like, fuck, this is working. And I'm a huge believer on momentum. Like I talk about, like you keep saying the word on this podcast, but momentum happens when something good, you do another thing and keep going, and then that exponentially goes up over time. But it's one of humans' greatest forces, because it just compounds really quickly.
Mass time velocity.
But you need to create the momentum. Yeah. And doing the balloons and all that stuff, the fire, the sparklers, it creates momentum. It creates energy for your team to be excited, fired up, amped up. And I always say, if you're low energy in your business, people are going to feel it. Your customers are going to feel it. Your investors are going to feel it. The journalists that might want to write about you will feel it. Your new team members that you might hire will be like, what is this company? So whatever kept the energy up, we would do. And I was a big part of doing that, was energizing, running the whole company. And like these balloons and these hype was a way for the company to feel like we are progressing. Yeah. We are moving forward, no matter how hard it is and how much pain we're going through. We need to take these moments and create that momentum and celebrate.
Do you remember one that now that you look back is like, oh, tiny, but like meant the most?
The first retailer.
And the reason I say that is because when we first got 100 subscribers, I was like, shit, we've done it. But it's over. Like we have peaked.
But do you remember you talked about university before, college. Like I used to think like I'd go in these big classrooms. There was like 100 people in there. Yeah. Like, and that was a big classroom. There's a lot of people. 400
in ours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like,
100 subscribers is a quarter of that fucking stadium or whatever. Sorry, the classroom. Like that's a lot.
I couldn't comprehend that. Like I could not comprehend. Like there's like some sort of limiting belief in my mind that was like, is. Yo, like this is like a lot of people. We're good.
Dude, that's what I always say is like, it's easy to say I want to be a billion. I want to get to a billion, this, that. It's very hard to get there, by the way. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But if you appreciate the little stuff that you go through, the little wins, and you let that compound, like we talked about, momentum will create, and you will eventually get to that level of wherever you want to get to, whether it's a billion, whether it's whatever the amount is. But what I would say to like my journey was, our first retailer was this bagel shop, and it was a guy that took a chance on us. And even having my own product, sell at a little local bagel shop in Montreal when we started, was like the biggest dream, because it's like my product lives in a fridge somewhere. Like someone else is taking on that risk, even though it was a consignment at the time. But he was putting it in a space, and he gave us a chance. And I was so proud, because I was like, this is insane. Like, something we created from scratch is now living in somebody else's four walls, because they believe that this is something that their customers might want.
Yeah.
And I told my partners and my team, we need to sell that out within hours. And what do? We got our friends to go. We got social media. We posted, go buy it. And they did. And that created momentum. And then we've got another retailer. Now we're in 10,000. And every time I go to, Costco, in my neighborhood, and I see our stuff and I see people buying it, like literally picking it up, I'm like, what the fuck? I think back to that bagel shop. So when you say that moment was life defining for me, because it also realized that, like, you need to believe, you have to have faith in what you're doing and actually truly have conviction. Like, when I pitched that bagel shop, I really, like, I was like, it's going to sell. Like, and now I apply that everywhere I go, because I truly believe. And sometimes I'm wrong, but that belief, people can feel the energy on the other side of the table, whether they're making a decision to take my product or not, that there's a transfer of energy. Anyway, so going back, unfortunately, that guy's not in business anymore. His name was Jeremy. So if he's listening to this podcast, shout out to him. He was a big catalyst for us to get momentum and growth early on.
Do you think he knew that?
He worked so hard, man. Like, I know this guy was like a hustler. He was exhausted. He wanted to do everything. He loved his business so much, and he was willing to do anything for it. And it was inspiring for me, because I looked at that guy. He doesn't know that I looked at him. I looked up to him at the time. I don't know where he is today, and I wish I could see him again. But the way he worked and he cared about his business, the customers, he would show up. He was behind the counter doing the turkey, putting the butter on the bagels. He was grinding, cleaning up at night, doing everything. And that was totally inspiring, because it made me want to work hard. It made me want to hustle. So I don't know what happened, but like I said, I don't know if he knows this, but I'm super grateful. The whole team at Midday Squares is super grateful, because that started everything.
Do you think he took a chance on you or the product?
I think us, my partners and I, because he listened to our story. And there was another group that we're very close with today, named Marche Tau, Tau. There are 6 stores in Montreal, natural stores, like kind of like a Vita Health out here, I guess, which is a great retailer that we're partners with too, and we love them. This guy, Matt Holtman, he's great. But Marche Tau, we went to pitch our story to the owner, found their family, and he listened, and he said he saw something in us, and it didn't make sense to take one product, because we had one little chocolate bar and to put in the fridge. The fridge was, why put a chocolate bar in the fridge? To him, it was crazy, but he believed in the story. And he said, I'm going to help you. And what he did was, he didn't just put our product in his 6 stores. What he did was, he told his team, this company is from Montreal. We love them. Let's help them win. And he put us in multiple places in the store. He ended up changing the entire business for us, because what happened was now more people that didn't know us started trying our product. And we were being seen in the store, where usually you'd have to pay for massive amounts of money for end caps or front of the store, grab and go. He did it because he believed in our story, and he wanted us to win. And they've still become such a critical partner. We're going so strong with them still. I visit them almost once a month just to hang, not even about business, just they'll talk about life. I dance with one of their teammates, this guy Stuart, every week or 2 weeks when I go down in the grocery aisles. We sometimes take our shirts off, we laugh, we dance, we go wild.
Hop in the shopping cart.
Hop in the shopping cart. But the truth is he believed in the story. That's what it was. And it obviously aligned.